Hi, I'm Don Regan. I'm here to introduce to you the One Heart Vision Self-Healing Pilot Program and my book, A Path to Self-Healing, and Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now. This program reveals the self-healing benefits of mindfulness and the severe consequences we suffer from sleepwalking through life in la la land. Before any mode, method, or system of self-healing can even begin, it requires waking up, being present first. We can't learn anything asleep at the wheel. This program teaches the first step to self-healing from issues like stress, addiction, depression, and other self-destructive behaviors. Self-healing begins with waking up, being anchored firmly in the present moment, having non-judgmental thoughts, and paying attention like your life depends on it, because it does. I conducted this One Heart Vision pilot program on the Power Now first for the Texas Department of Criminal Justice and Reentry Program Division. I hypothesized that even people with minimal education, abusive backgrounds, self-destructive behaviors, and suffering the intense stresses associated with incarceration still had the ability to wake up, embrace the present moment, and learn what was required to self-heal themselves. I proved my point. The program was a huge success. I was invited back to conduct more of these approved programs. My background was no bed of roses either. My childhood was plagued with issues like abandonment, shaming, violence, abuse, alcoholism, and fear. I didn't respond well. I acted out with anger, ignorance, and minor criminal activity. Even joining the Marine Corps on my 17th birthday and training to be a paid killer didn't improve my low self-worth and negative attitudes. In the late 60s, I hit the streets and did a swan dive into the counterculture of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. If I wasn't doing drugs, I was looking for them. By my 21st birthday, I was incarcerated 30 times. That was 50 years ago, and I still dream about it. In the mid-70s, I cleaned up my act and went to college. By 1984, I had an outstanding job, a great wife, beautiful kids, and a nice house. Then the cocaine tsunami of 1984 hit the nation hard. I was the first to dive in, take a dip, and ended up drowning in drug addiction. Over the next 20 years, other than my career, I would lose everything I had, including 2/3 of my heart muscle from dropping dead on the kitchen floor. The only things I gained from that scary experience was a pacemaker and several major shocks while compulsively hitting a crack pipe. Dropping dead again wasn't even considered. It's impossible to get more self-destructive and addicted than that. Despite the ruthless addiction, I never gave up on me. Over 30 years, I searched for the root cause of drug use and addiction. I went to hundreds of 12-step meetings. I attended countless group and personal therapies, EST, Synanon, religious interventions, metaphysics, shamans, holistic cures, and even Eastern philosophy. Nothing stuck. In 2006, by pure accident, something remarkable happened. My car overheated on the freeway in Seattle. While waiting for my ride, I walked to a strip mall and went into a small bookstore. The first book I saw on display was The Power Now. The second I touched it, I got chills. The Power Now woke me up like a hard slap in the face. I quickly learned I was never in the present moment, and I had been sleepwalking, lost in thought my entire life. I was either thinking about my painful past or about a brighter future that might save me. Unless someone pulled a gun on me or threatened to throw me off a building, I had no sense of self. Once the threat was gone, so was I. Back to sleep and continued to march forward like a zombie lost in thought. I learned that reliving thoughts of past and future were not only a distraction, but an illusion as well. It's critical to understand that the only time is right now. Now is the most important time of our life. It's the only time we can make any changes in our life situation. Over the next few years, I was obsessed with staying in the present moment. I did a mindful self-examination daily. By Tolle's example, I learned how to live in the present moment, embrace what is, neutralize my thoughts, end a severe addiction, eliminate self-suffering, turn my life around, and self-heal. That was 20 years ago. Now, that's enough about me. Let's talk about you in this self-healing pilot program. This self-healing pilot program has 6 goals: waking people up, learning the importance of being in the present moment, learning how to eliminate compulsive thinking by disidentifying with negative thoughts, learning how to pay attention like your life depends on it, eliminating self-suffering, and learning the importance of mindful self-examination. Too many people roll through life distracted by their thoughts and not paying attention, like driving somewhere lost in thought, forgetting the entire ride. Many people will go from cradle to grave with their music still in them, in a dream or nightmare. The mind is a magnificent machine. When you're the master, you can ignore the streams of negative and repetitive thoughts. When you're the slave, You compulsively identify with every negative, fearful thought like a robot. Self-suffering becomes a way of life. Your ego is not your amigo. The egoic mind feeds on our memories from past life situations, labels them, and then issues a false identity. We are not the things we did in the past or the things that were done to us. Anything that comes and goes is not you. Cops, criminals, doctors, and nurses are labels for what people do, not for who they are. Understanding the basic principles of slaying the ego that creates the chatterbox in our heads is critical to gaining self-awareness, presence, and peace of mind. Believe it or not, everyone receives a steady stream of 40 to 50,000 thoughts a day. If you're an addict, angry, depressed, stressed, have anxiety, these thoughts are incredibly overwhelming and fear-based. Compulsive identification with negative thoughts are the primary reason for addiction relapse and for the high recidivism rate in prisons. Thoughts are like waves in the ocean. They keep coming. The ocean doesn't care about a wave, and we shouldn't care about a thought. We should view our thoughts like a grandfather views his grandkids playing, with amusement. What connects all of humanity is consciousness. The sooner everyone gets on the same page about raising their level of consciousness, the better life will be for all of us. We can't help anyone heal until we have healed ourselves first. Here are the few benefits from living mindfully in the present moment, doing routine inner self-examination, and raising your consciousness by being the watcher and not the thinker. Reduce stress, depression, anxiety, and self-destructive behavior. Viewing thoughts unemotionally with non-judgment. Noticing the emotions in others and being more attentive, engaged, empathetic, and compassionate. Having an inner pause button to reset and wake up. Taking responsibility for our actions, thoughts, words, and life situation. Enrich physical, emotional, and mental health. No fears or worries, present, past, or future insecurities. Having relationships that are based in truth and love. Now, here are a few consequences from lack of inner self-examination, being rarely in the present moment, sleepwalking through life, and viewing self-suffering as a normal condition. Fear and negativity are a constant companion. Feeling separate from everyone and everything. Self-suffering becomes a normal way of life. Relationships tend to be ego-based, shallow, and short-lived. The present moment is unacceptable. Living in the past or future, having a low self-esteem and low self-worth, medicating with drugs, alcohol, food, sex, and adrenaline, aligning oneself with other flawed people, having anger, depression, and anxiety issues, and blaming everyone and everything but themselves. This self-healing pilot program is important for everyone. It is a must for people who live and work in high-stress, volatile, and dangerous areas. This program provides just the starting blocks to the process of self-healing. There are countless therapy professionals who specialize in treating every kind of trauma long-term. Therapies, prayer, meditation, and stillness work best when you are awake, present, and focused. Only then can you allow the self-healing process to do its work. The pilot program curriculum includes a copy of my book, A Path to Self-Healing with Self-Healing Workbook. I recount the difficult challenges I had to deal with and overcome. I discuss the path I took to self-heal and end my self-suffering for once and for all. There are several examples to make this one point, that everyone has the power within themselves to self-heal from addiction and any other negative behavior. The second half of my book is a self-healing workbook. It helps people understand the terms and concepts of the Power of Now. Additionally, every attendee is given a copy of The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Over the course of 16 hours, The Power of Now is read and discussed page by page. This teaching covers 10 chapters and 226 pages of incredible wisdom. Eckhart Tolle delivers the underpinning reasons for our compulsive thinking, unconscious behaviors, and addiction to self-suffering. He demonstrates the huge benefits of being in the present moment from every angle conceivable. I demonstrate the severe consequences of not being present and choosing to self-suffer. In life, pain is unavoidable. Suffering is a choice we make. Okay. I'll just laugh about that, huh? Okay. Talking about my considerable shortcomings isn't easy, but it's important information for people without direction and no path to follow. People that are self-suffering need hope to move forward. They need to see a clear path to healing themselves. Everyone needs a few metaphysical street smarts to survive and balance their lives. If it was possible for me to wake up and self-heal after making countless bad decisions, I know you can do it too. As a matter of fact, I'm counting on it. Please read the wonderful comments. Thank you for being here now.